Hi, from time to time I'll put the odd radio on that I've picked up and in some cases got going. Not all cases, but some. This one I picked up last Wednesday. I tend to, if I find these Russian ones, I tend to pick them up because they are quite interesting inside. I'll show you the back of it, so what this one's designated. It's made in Republic of Belarus. It's the same factory that turned out the Russian ones, Selena's, and some other names. Amstrad, I think, was one of theirs. Anyhow, this is only going to be a very quick video just to show this particular model. This is one of the later models. It's basic in as much as there's no signal strength or tuning meter on it, which would normally have been in there. You'd have had a little meter for tuning. This one hasn't got it. You've got a little window there which indicates what band it's on. There's your bands. You've got long wave, medium wave, you've got various short wave bands, and right at the bottom you've got your VHF or FM band, and this is the bandwidth we use over here, 88 up to 108. Poland uses a different range. I don't know why, but they use a different range. This set, I think, was found was definitely made for over here, because VHF in America runs at a different. Now I'm not too sure what it is, but I know one works at. Anyhow, someone else will explain this. Simply, if you use an American FM set over here, you'll never be able to tune it spot on, and presumably vice versa. The spacing is slightly different. Whether this one automatically changes over, I don't know, but I mentioned this in passing. So yeah, if you get a set that is not for the country, either America or English, you will notice this. It's only on the VHF bands. The station will come in, but you won't be able to tune it spot on. Now let's have a look at the back. So these sets, this one had a fault on it, but a silly fault. Let's try and bring it over a bit. As you can see, that's the wave change, and that was indicating incorrectly. So whenever you put it on, it wasn't that one. It was just wrong. Let's turn it around and have a little look at it. I'm going to try and push it. I'll put it on the side there so it doesn't fall. The box is at the back. That goes round the outside. I always think it's much more interesting to have a look at the inside and see what is going on. Now let's slowly work through what all the bits are. You obviously have your ferrite aerial, that's that rod. It's got windings on it. It acts like a transformer, and it brings in, or it receives the radio waves. It is an antenna, or a form of antenna. Now with this set, if I can, I don't know whether I can actually show it. I don't think I can, but I shall just explain it. This set of contacts actually moves around as you change the wave change, which I can probably show you. Let me have a look. Hold on. What I've done, I've fixed the knob on the end that turns the tuning And as I turn it, you'll see what happens. Each one represents a different band. I said you've got the long and medium wave and your short wave bands. And this arrangement is quite common on Russian sets. Well, certainly Russian sets of this style. They didn't always use this, but these were like it, and it's called a turret tuning. You've got all your coils. There's a coil there. Now these are coils which are tuned to that particular band. So you pick up within the range what that band is switched to. Now these contacts make on, if we can see it, yeah, along the bottom there and numbered, you've got a set of contacts. Well, these are the contacts which the turret itself makes as you turn it round. Nice to springs in, and each one, as I say, has its own tuned circuits. You've got little trimming pots there, the capacitors are variable. Your transformers there for tuning. They've also got a little dust core in the middle, which never alter because that has been set up. If you start screwing those about, you're going to lose your stations. These are set up using Signal Jenny's oscilloscopes. You've got to get it spot on. There's another transformer. There's a capacitor there. Looks like a silver mica. Resistors. I like to drop on the floor so I don't let it drop over. Now here you've got your main board, which has your intermediate frequency transformers. This part is in fact a normal superhet circuit, super heterodyne, which is the normal type of radio which you would find. Previous to that you had TRFs, which are tuned radio. If you go back to the very early days where sets had two tuning capacitors, they were totally different. This circuit was devised by Mr. Armstrong, an American, who unfortunately jumped out of a window and committed suicide. He was also responsible for the VHF system, which is frequency modulated. The frequency changes. This one that we're looking at now is AM, which is amplitude modulation, where the variation is done by the actual strength of the signal. The signal remains, the sine wave remains the same, but it's varied in intensity. This module down here is the VHF module, and that is switched onto the turret separately. So I'll see if I can show it. One of these will have very little in it, I think. It's going to make me wrong, I bet. There we are. That is a spare, and that will be the position which connects the VHF part in circuit. You've got your various sockets. This is probably a loudspeaker socket. That's possibly a power in or a speaker out. I can check it. There's the back. Yep, that's a 60 ohm headphones. That's your tape recorder. Looks like a reel-to-reel. And the one down the bottom is a 220, 240, 50 to 60 hertz, 5 watt mains. Very, very tiny plug. And a little plug would fit in there. The one between the piece of plastic would be the live and neutral. The big pin is the earth. Underneath you've got your battery connections. This unit at the end is your power amp, and this is what boosts the signal up so you can in fact hear it. We've got electrolytic capacitors, resistors, all the bits and bobs. That's a transistor on a heat sink. And if we look inside or further in, you'll see a transformer, and that's your mains transformer. And that is obviously connected up to the main socket. Goes into the transformer. The leads come out and power up the whole thing. Switched differently from the battery, obviously, so depending on what switch arrangements you've got on the front is whether you run it on the battery or through the mains. Anyhow, that's more or less it on that. Some closer looks at the bits and bobs inside. I will occasionally put on the odd radio because I think they're interesting. The metal work round there, if you can see it, it's hard to, yeah, well, in the wrong place. That metal work round there is simply for screening. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Any questions, just ask. Oh, I better tell you the number of this as well. Let me turn it around the front. It's a B215. Now this model has been made for years. This one's one of the later ones. I don't know if it's the latest. It could be. I don't know though. There's your switches at the top. Top one's your battery. The bottom one's a little dial light, so if you press that, the actual dial lights up. You've got a nice sized speaker. You've got your tuning knob. You turn that and obviously the dial goes by. You've got a login scale at the bottom, which they use it in conjunction with the various bands. You've got your 49 metre band, 31 metres and so on. I think that's what, and the name Selena. The wooden case is at the back. As I say, I don't know if these were available in America. They probably were. They were certainly available in England, and they are a very nice set. Some of the construction wasn't that good, but you know, if it don't work, check the actual circuit board over and check for dry joints. Any dry joints, use a very fine tipped iron and let the solder run round. with age the capacitors can dry out, so you know you might have to have it on for a while to actually bring it right up. But this one worked the first time. Anyhow, once again, thanks for looking. Any questions, please ask. Anything else, please ask. You know, past comments. Love to know. Thanks again. Thank you.